Breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon has mostly stayed out of the limelight since leaving the Trump administration, working behind the scenes in recent months to advance President Donald Trump's agenda. In an interview on Tuesday, Bannon delivered an epic mic-drop moment when he said the 8 words Democrats hate to hear most of all. One of Steve Bannon's main goals is to ensure President Trump can move his populist economic agenda forward in the face of so much obstruction by establishment Republicans and Democrats determined to undermine him. Bannon told Good Luck America's Peter Hamby that he thinks they have had a pretty good run so far. Then, he said 8 words that Democrats will absolutely hate. It's just the top of the first inning. In other words, Trump is just getting started, and Bannon believes he will win again in 2020, giving him 4 more years in the White House to further his populist, nationalist, pro-America agenda. Since leaving the White House, Bannon has been campaigning for candidates dedicated to running against the establishment, including Judge Roy Moore in Alabama. Former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon will campaign with embattled Judge Roy Moore next week ahead of the vote in Alabama's neck-and-neck U.S. Senate race. Bannon will join Moore at a rally in Fair Oaks, Alabama, on December 5, 1 week before Moore, a Republican, faces Democrat Doug Jones in a special election for Attorney General Jeff Sessions' former seat. This kind of populist nationalist right has been having this fight with the establishment, Bannon told Hamby. Trump was a rejection of the entire establishment. The permanent political class as a business model, and they're not prepared to give up power. Bannon predicts that the movement is just beginning and that there are big things in store for the future. I think this whole thing is evolving, he said. You have this populist economic nationalism and it's just starting to catch on, and I think people who embrace the Trump agenda are going to win primaries and be the best candidates against Democrats. Breitbart News executive chairman and former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon gave a positive view of the state of the populist economic nationalist movement in an interview published Tuesday, saying the movement is going well but is just getting started. I think we've had a pretty good run so far, and it's just the top of the first inning, Bannon told Good Luck America's Peter Hamby in an interview available exclusively on Snapchat. Bannon also noted that establishment Republicans in Washington, D.C., often have not had President Trump's back since he took office. Thus, it is up to the populist right to support Trump in his agenda and make sure that it is implemented on Capitol Hill. Bannon also believes Trump is paying more attention to the populist, nationalist movement in the wake of Judge Roy Moore's defeat of Senator Luther Strange in the Alabama Republican Senate primary. I think he understood after the primary in Alabama that his base believes in a handful of things. They want to build a wall. They want to stop illegal immigration. They still want to get us out of what they consider these pointless foreign wars. And, I think it's incumbent on the deplorables to be out there, said Bannon. It seems that Steve Bannon has been hugely instrumental in ensuring that Trump's agenda is implemented, even though he no longer works in the White House. Perhaps that's a good thing, as there is no longer the infighting between Bannon and more left-leaning members of the administration, like Jared Kushner. Bannon has apparently been able to get much more accomplished in the way of moving Trump's agenda forward now that he is not in the White House. He seemed to confirm as much, saying, "When you're in the White House, you're just another staffer, and I had a lot of influence. But there's a difference between influence and power, and, when I'm out with Breitbart and have all my weapons, I can really affect change much more and help the president." If Steve Bannon's interview this week is any indication, we are in very good shape for 2020. Please share this good news everywhere since the mainstream media isn't about to report it. Share the story and leave a comment by clicking one of the buttons below. Follow us on Facebook at Mad World News.